Hello everyone, welcome to Power Electronics lecture series. In today's video, we're going to take a look at parallel connection of SCR. So let's get started. So at the first place, we need to understand why is even parallel connection required. So let us consider two thyristors T1 and T2 connected in parallel in this particular fashion. Now let us consider an example where we have a 5 kilovolt and 1000 amps current rating source. So this 1000 amps has to be given to a thyristor. For example, so we have a thyristor rating of 500 amps, say T1, and we have T2 to be rated as 500 amps. So when you're giving this 1000 amps directly to only one thyristor in the circuit, what will happen? This thyristor T1 will be damaged. Similarly, if you're using T2 alone, T2 will be damaged because it can handle maximum up to 500 amps. But when you're connecting these two combinations in parallel and using it together in this particular fashion, what will happen? 1000 amps will be divided into 500 amps and 500 amps. So in that case, both T1 and T2 will be able to withstand 500 amps because they are rated for 500 amps. So we will be able to accommodate 1000 amps via two thyristors T1 and T2, and that is why parallel connection is required. Now you might be having another question as, for example, we have 1000 amps source. Why not use one thyristor? Design a thyristor for 1000 amps. Isn't that possible? It is practically possible, but why are we not doing it? So in HVDC applications, the requirement of current rating can go in kiloamperes, like 5 kiloamps or 10 kiloamps or 20 kiloamps, depending upon the capacity of the plant. In such cases, you cannot design one thyristor to accommodate this entire rating. So the manufacturing cost will be very high, and it is even difficult to manufacture a single thyristor of this large capacity of current rating. And that is why we don't prefer one single thyristor to be used in HVDC applications. So we will be having parallel connection of ACRs. So you know the basics now. Why is parallel connection required and why do we need parallel connection basically with multiple thyristors? Similar to the problems that we saw in series connection of SCR, we have almost similar problems with respect to parallel connection of SCR as well. So what is that problem? Let us say again we have two thyristor T1 and T2. For now, let us ignore the resistor R. Let us say a plot of anode current, change of anode current with respect to anode to cathode voltage when you are varying, whenever you are actually manufacturing two devices in electronics, there is very less likely chance that they will have the same characteristics. There will definitely be some amount of minute variations between them. That is, let us say this is T1, this is T2. So if you carefully observe, there will be some amount of deviation with respect to the change in current. So because of this, what will happen? We had assumed previously when we are supplying 1000 amps, what will happen? 500 will flow through this and 500 will flow through this. But here, because of this unequal variation, 550 may flow through this, isn't it? 450 may flow through this, the remaining current. Because of 550 flowing through this and T1 is rated for only 500 amperes, what will happen is that the internal resistance of T1, that is RT1, if you are considering that as RT1, the internal resistance, this will increase. And because of this, what will happen? The temperature will increase. Because of this, what will happen? The current will further increase. 550 amps will further go beyond 550. And because of this, again, the internal resistance will increase. This will be a cumulative process, and consequently, at some point in time, the device will burn out. So you are basically damaging your thyristor by connecting two thyristors in parallel in this particular fashion. So we don't want this to happen, isn't it? Ideally. So what we will be doing is, in order to overcome this particular problem, we will be adding a resistor R in each of these networks. So a resistor R is added in such a way that it will balance the value of current flowing through these two thyristors T1 and T2. And how do we know that the current flows through them between T1 and T2 will be the same. So basically there is a simple equation, that is if you are considering R as the resistor and you have VT1 as the voltage across T1 and VT2 is the voltage across T2, then we will be having, we know that R is given by V by I, isn't it? That is basically VT1 minus VT2 divided by I2 minus I1. So if there is any difference between the current I2 and I1, what will happen is that the value of R will be set such that the difference in current is observed, and this value of R is same in both the parallel paths. So that is how static current sharing between the two thyristors T1 and T2 can be achieved. I hope this point is clear. So we have something called as dynamic current sharing. So in order to understand, let us first look at the problem that is faced. So let us say we have a current source. We had seen previously 1000 amps is our current source, and we have two thyristors connected in parallel, isn't it? So I'm representing it in a form of a switch so that it is easier for you to understand. So you have T1 here and T2 here. Let us say T1 is having greater turn on time compared to T2. So in that case, what will happen is T1 is turned on and acts as short circuit. So T2 is still not turned on. In that case, all the 1000 amps will flow through this path, isn't it? It will flow like this. And if we have a load resistor here, then most of the current will flow like this, isn't it? So because of that, T1 will get damaged because T1 was designed only for 500 amps. I hope the point is clear. So it is necessary to ensure there should be some amount of protection. So we will be connecting inductor L1 and L2 in such a way that they are connected in series with T1 and T2 like this. If you carefully observe over here, they are magnetically coupled with opposite polarity. So if some amount of current flows through L1, equal amount of current will be induced in the opposite direction with respect to L2. So what this does is, initially the first and primary thing that it provides is it provides di by dt protection. It does not allow sudden change in current. That is the first and foremost important thing that this inductor provides. And in second to that point that I have added, what happens is that these inductors will induce equal amount of negative current in the opposite direction, and because of this the current distribution between them will be in a much better way. And that is why you call this as dynamic current sharing. Dynamic is often something that is associated during turn on and turn off time, where we saw with respect to ACR characteristics, isn't it? So the logic is pretty simple, and we need L1 and L2 in order to provide dynamic current sharing. I hope this point is clear. So in case you have any questions with respect to parallel connection of ACR, please feel free to reach out by typing in your questions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Stay